Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my first video where I am making political science for standard 12th. So the first chapter in standard 12 political science is the world since 1991. So let us look at it. So in 11th standard, we studied international developments from 1945 to 1991. In this chapter, we look at the changes that have taken place in the post-1991 era. So basically इस चैप्टर में हम 1991 के बाद क्या क्या हुआ उसके बारे में पढ़ने वाले हैं. ओके, सो हम देखते हैं कि 1991 के बाद क्या क्या हुआ. Let us look at it. The fall of Berlin Wall in November 1898 and the eventual disintegration of the Soviet Union ended the Cold War era. Please याद रखिएगा इस सेंटेंस को because ये बहुत important है and especially with respect to your MCQs and one-liners, this is a very important question. So यहाँ पे बर्लिन वॉल की बात हो रही है. आई गेस हम सबको पता है कि बर्लिन वॉल क्या है. सो बर्लिन वॉल इज बेसिकली इन जर्मनी, ओके, व्हिच डिवाइड्स जर्मनी into South Germany and North Germany. So 1989 में, November 1989 में Berlin Wall was fallen down, okay, and eventually disintegration of Soviet Union. Soviet Union that is Russia and all the countries. I guess you all know what USSR is. We have studied in our history chapters before. So सोवियत यूनियन का डिसइंटीग्रेशन हो गया था और बर्लिन वॉल का फॉल हो गया था. These two were the two important things which happened after the 1991. Then we have it also ended the East-West division of the world that was based on the rivalry of the US and its ally and the Soviet Union and its allies. So यहाँ पे हम कोल्ड वॉर एरा की बात कर रहे हैं. So basically कोल्ड वॉर एरा was that era where we had two superpowers. First was US and the other was Soviet Union. सो एज हमने अभी पढ़ा कि सोवियत यूनियन डिसइंटीग्रेट हो गया था, यानी टूट गया था और काफी हिस्सों में बट गया था. सो अब अगर सोवियत यूनियन नहीं रहा तो सिर्फ यूएस बचा. तो इफ यूएस इज द ओनली पावर देन देयर इज नो डिवीजन. ओके, ईस्ट वेस्ट डिवीजन हट चुका था क्योंकि एक तरफ की कंट्री वाज डिस्ट्रॉयड. ओके, नॉट एग्जैक्टली डिस्ट्रॉयड बट डिसइंटीग्रेटेड. उनका यूनिटी वाज डिस्ट्रॉयड. So that's what it says कि rivalry जो थी, दुश्मनी जो थी यूएस और सोवियत यूनियन और उनके allies basically उनके friend countries you can say. So let us look forward. So the developments in the post-Cold War period can be analyzed through 5 major dimensions. So post-Cold War के बाद कोल्ड वॉर इज बेसिकली वो एरा जब यूएसएसआर यानी सोवियत यूनियन और यूएस का लड़ाई चल रहा था. बेसिकली कोल्ड वॉर में, यानी कि कोल्ड वॉर इज अ वॉर वहां पे जहां हम डायलॉग्स के थ्रू वॉर करते हैं, ना कि यू नो लाइक थ्रू वॉर्स व्हिच वी एक्चुअली डू. इट्स जस्ट वर्बल वॉर. ओके, सो जब पोस्ट कोल्ड वॉर खत्म हो गया था उसके बाद कुछ डेवलपमेंट्स भी हुए. सो 5 एरियाज में डेवलपमेंट्स हुए थे. सो यू कैन रिमेम्बर इट बाय द टर्म देम. THEM. Okay, the first is terrorism. Then we have human rights and humanitarian interventions. And then we have end of Cold War and rise of new states. And then we have emergence of unipolarity. And lastly, we have multipolarity and regionalism. इन सब के बारे में हम डिटेल में आगे पढ़ेंगे. So let us look at them. So first, that is end of Cold War and rise of new states. So the Cold War led to the end of an international order dominated by the two superpowers, the US and the Soviet Union. It also saw the emergence of new states after the disintegration of the Soviet Union. So यहाँ पे ये बता रहा है कि कोल्ड वॉर खत्म होने के बाद कैसे न्यू स्टेट्स राइज हुए. तो हम पहले जानते हैं कि न्यू स्टेट्स क्यों राइज हुए. जैसा कि हमने पहले पढ़ा था कि कोल्ड वॉर का जब खत्म हुआ तो क्या हुआ. बेसिकली दो सुपर पावर्स थे, यूएस और सोवियत यूनियन. सो सोवियत यूनियन टूट गया, डिसइंटीग्रेट हो गया. सो वो पिक्चर से हट गया. सो देयर इज ओनली वन सुपर पावर. सो अगर डिसइंटीग्रेट हो रहा है कोई कंट्री, सो ऑब्वियसली उसके छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स बनेंगे. सो अगर छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स बन रहे तो क्या हो रहा है, न्यू स्टेट्स बन रहे. सो दैट्स व्हाट इट सेज दैट एंड ऑफ कोल्ड वॉर हुआ बिकॉज यूएसएसआर दैट इज सोवियत यूनियन टूट गया. सो अगर दो लोग में से एक एनिमी कमजोर हो गया, सो ऑटोमेटिकली द वन एनिमी बिकम्स स्ट्रॉन्गर. दैट्स व्हाई यूएस eventually won the war, the Cold War. So that's why end हो गया Cold War because एक पार्टी जीत गया और दूसरी तरफ सोवियत यूनियन डिसइंटीग्रेट हो गया, इसीलिए राइज ऑफ न्यू स्टेट्स हुआ. बहुत सारे स्टेट्स निकले सोवियत यूनियन से. ओके, Then we have emergence of unipolarity. Firstly, unipolarity क्या होता है, एक सुपर पावर होगा. यूनी मीन्स सिंगल, सो देयर इज ओनली सिंगल सुपर पावर इन द वर्ल्ड. सो एमरजेंस इज बेसिकली स्टार्ट. सो एक ही सुपर पावर बच गया था, दैट वाज यूएस. सो लेट अस रीड अबाउट इट फर्स्ट. The Cold War between US and the Soviet Union came to an end, signaling the end of bipolarity. Bipolarity मतलब two superpowers. Bi means two. So bipolarity खत्म हो गया because Soviet Union खत्म हो गया. So जैसे कोल्ड वॉर खत्म हुआ, वर्ल्ड सॉ कि अब बाइपोलैरिटी नहीं रहा. देयर आर नो मोर टू सुपर पावर्स, देयर इज ओनली वन सुपर पावर, दैट इज यूएस. दिस लेड टू द एमर्जेंस ऑफ अ यूनिपोलर वर्ल्ड डोमिनेटेड बाय द यूएस. सो एज दो सुपर पावर की जगह सिर्फ एक सुपर पावर बचा, दैट इज यूएस, तो दुनिया ने देखा कि अब सुपर पावर सिर्फ यूएस है और पूरी दुनिया उससे डोमिनेटेड है. अगर वो सुपर पावर है, so obviously superpower is going to dominate the world. That's what this second thing says. Let's look at the third point. That's human rights and humanitarian interventions. There was an increasing awareness about human rights and also a rise in intervention for humanitarian purposes. So ये वो era था जब human rights के बारे में लोगों को पता चलने लगा कि yes, human rights होता है, कितना important है human rights के लिए हमारा fight करना, ये सब. And humanitarian interventions basically human rights के लिए हम चीजों में interfere करने लगे कि ये गलत है because human rights are not being followed here, or you could say human rights are being violated here. So that's why it was an era where human rights were very much coming into the picture, and people started realizing that human rights are a very important part of the society and they need to be taken care of. So that's what the third point says about. Let's look at the fourth point. That's terrorism. So the nature of terrorism changed after the 11 September 2001 attacks, also known as a 9/11 attack against the US. So terrorism का जो कंसेप्ट था, जो टेररिज्म का डेफिनेशन था लोगों के दिमाग में, वो चेंज हो गया आफ्टर द 11 September 2001 attack. So this is a very famous attack, as we have in India the 26/11 attack in Mumbai. Similarly, the start of terrorism, not exactly terrorism, the start of modern terrorism started from 11 September 2001, which was in US. So as we have 26/11, they have it 9/11, and actually this is not 9/11, it's 11/9. US ka writing pattern of date is a bit different. So that's what terrorism is about. Let's look at the fifth point, that is multipolarity and regionalism. So as we read unipolarity, we read bipolarity, now we have multipolarity. As the world started growing and growing, there we could see that US was not only the country which started dominating. Many other countries started developing and they started doing or showing dominance over the world in some or the other way. Like, let's read, we'll know about it. This phase primarily saw the rise of China and India, the growing importance of the Indo-Pacific region, and also the rise of Russia under Vladimir Putin. These developments and growth of regionalism brought in multipolarity in the world order. Regions and regional organizations started to become more important. So here multipolarity and regionalism में ये कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जैसे जैसे countries develop होने लगी, हर एक country थोड़ी थोड़ी powerful बनने लगी. Like for example, China का example दिया यहाँ पर. So China is a very big manufacturing country in today's world. So China धीरे धीरे manufacturing के लिए famous होने लगी. So वो उस तरह से dominate करने लगी world को. So this way many countries started coming up with their other forms of dominance. जो country जिस चीज में famous है. For example, India is a very good country for their fruits, spices. So it started getting dominance in that area. This way many countries coming together and they started showing their powers. That's why today we can see how country like कैसे हमारा world एक unipolarity world से multipolarity world में change होने लगा. And whereas regionalism is considered, regionalism is basically regional organizations. हर एक region का कुछ organizations होते हैं जिनके बारे में हम आगे जरूर पढ़ेंगे. So in short अगर मैं आपको बताऊँ right now, so regional organizations are organizations which work for their certain region. उस region के लिए वो work करते हैं, चाहे डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होते हैं. कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इकोनॉमिक इश्यूज पर डिस्कस करते हैं, कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस डेवलपमेंट के थ्रू लाइक यू नो दे वर्क फॉर डेवलपमेंट, एंड देयर आर मेनी रीजनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस व्हिच वर्क फॉर डिफरेंट रीजंस. सो ये सब बहुत फेमस हो गया रीजनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बिकॉज इनकी वजह से काफी हेल्प मिलने लगी थी. दैट्स व्हाई रीजनलिज्म केम इनटू द पिक्चर. So these were the 5 important major developments areas which took place. Now let us look at them into more deeply. So the first one which we read was end of Cold War and rise of new states. We can see 2 important trends in international relations since the East European Revolution of 1989. So जब से 1989 का ईस्ट यूरोपियन रेवोल्यूशन स्टार्ट हुआ, so you know दो चीजें काफी ज्यादा ट्रेंड करने लगी वर्ल्ड में. सो देखते हैं वो दो चीजें क्या थी. द फर्स्ट इज द असर्शन ऑफ कंसेप्ट ऑफ ethnic nationalism based on right to self determination, and the second was end of bipolarity. So the first is लोगों के मन में you know nationalism was too much. Nationalism is basically, I think हम सबने 11th standard में पढ़ा होगा. So nationalism is basically the feeling for your country, the you know the thing which you feel for your country, the rights, the duties which you want to fulfill for your country. So लोगों के मन में अपनी country के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा feelings आने लग गई थी. They started feeling that yes, this is my country, I should do something for it. So this was something which was a new trend in the society. And then we had end of bipolarity, as the bipolarity was over and unipolarity was something which came into the picture. And after unipolarity, we read that multipolarity is now coming into the picture. It's not still the main thing. It's not like सारी countries अब superpowers बन चुके हैं. अभी भी unipolarity ही है maximally in our world, but still there is multipolarity also at certain level. So bipolarity existed because of the existence of 2 superpowers, US and the Soviet Union. The world was divided into 2 centers of power. So पहले bipolarity था जहां पर US was 1 superpower and Soviet Union was 1 superpower. Now it's not because the Soviet Union has disintegrated and एक center of superpower खत्म हो चुका है. पहले कैसा था, powers 2 लोगों में divided थी, अब एक पावर जब खत्म हो चुकी है, so obviously सारी पावर्स सिर्फ एक इंसान के पास है, that is US, and that's why it's unipolar world and not bipolar. Okay. Therefore, the disintegration of Soviet Union meant the end of bipolarity in the world. As Soviet Union ka power was ended, that's why only US is left with the power, and that's why there's no more bipolarity. So bipolarity खत्म होने का main reason क्या था? ये था कि Soviet Union disintegrate हो गया. Okay. So the revolution of East European states was a revolution of growing aspirations of the middle class. So East European states में जो revolution चल रहा था वो basically middle class लोगों के लिए था. They wanted to grow, they wanted to flourish, and you know they wanted to become a major part of the society. So they desired more freedom and economic well-being. They rose against the communist governments that were controlled by the Soviet Union and emerged as free democratic states. So this is the reason they are telling, यहाँ पे हमें वो reason बता रहे कि basically disintegration क्यों हुआ. So यहाँ पे कैसा था, वो disintegration mainly was because of the middle class people. So middle class people wanted to, you know, come up in the society and show what they can do. They wanted freedom basically. So उनको freedom चाहिए था, उनको अपना economic well-being देखना था. Like पहले वो under control थे communist government के. So अगर आप लोगों को पता हो तो सोवियत यूनियन कम्युनिस्ट गवर्नमेंट फॉलो करता था. सो कम्युनिस्ट गवर्नमेंट था, इसीलिए वहां पे इकोनॉमिक वेलबींग नहीं था लोगों के अंदर. लाइक गवर्नमेंट यूज्ड टू एक्सप्लॉइट द मिडिल क्लास एंड द अदर क्लास ऑफ द पीपल. दैट्स व्हाई दे वांटेड फ्रीडम और अपना इकोनॉमिकली वो स्टेबल होना चाहते थे. इसीलिए दे स्टार्टेड विद द प्रोटेस्ट एंड दैट्स हाउ दे जस्ट यू नो won over it, and they got disintegrated, and finally they were able to create free democratic states. That's how disintegration took place in Soviet Union. Even within the Soviet Union, the movement for more political and economic freedom led to the various states demanding more autonomy and eventually independence. So that's what I said all कि Soviet Union में हुआ था कि वो political और economic freedom चाहते थे. इसीलिए पहले उन्होंने बोला कि हमें आप एक like you know एक place दो, एक recognition दो, but धीरे धीरे वो recognition से उनका demand बढ़ने लगा, and then वो बोले कि नहीं हमें recognition ही नहीं चाहिए, हम एक eventually एक independent state ही चाहिए. So that's how disintegration actually took place. Meanwhile, the ethnic identity of various people of the region became stronger. This led to the demand for the creation of independent states based on ethnic identity. So आप randomly वो ऐसे कोई भी state नहीं बना सकते थे, right? So उन्होंने कैसे बनाया states? What they did was ethnic identity. For example, ethnic is Maharashtrians, Gujaratis, Rajasthanis. That's where they started coming together. कि सारे Maharashtrians. That's example for in India. Okay, so all Maharashtrians coming together. For example, they're all Christians coming together, all Romans coming together, various parts of the people, they started coming together in Soviet Union, and उन्होंने ethnically, यानी culturally, regionally, language wise, उस तरह से उन्होंने एक group form किया और फिर उस basis पे उन्होंने states form किया. So here are some examples of this trend. In Europe, the pattern of creation new states can be seen as follows. Czechoslovakia split into two states. So Czechoslovakia दो state में split हो गया. Czech Republic and Slav Republic. Please remember this because ये जो next points हम read करने वाले हैं, this is a very good point for fill-ups and objective type questions. And then Yugoslavia split into Croatia, Slovenia, Serbia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, North Macedonia, and Montenegro. So Yugoslavia ये सारे states में split हो गया. Okay, so Czechoslovakia split into two states, and Yugoslavia split into 7 states. In case of the former Soviet Union, the new states were as follows. So Armenia, Moldova, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, Belarus, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Ukraine, Kyrgyzstan, and Russia. These were the states which were formed after the disintegration of Soviet Union. So do remember the states, the names of the states, because they do ask you in patterns of maps, concept maps, fill-ups, or whatever. So please do remember this, okay? The trend of creation of new states on the basis of ethnic nationalism based on right to self-determination was also seen in other parts of the world. So जो मैंने आपको बताया कि ethnic nationalism के basis पे यानी culturally, language wise, regionally इस तरह से वो लोग states form करने लगे Soviet Union में. So इस तरह से सिर्फ Soviet Union में नहीं, Soviet Union को देख के many countries got inspired, people of many countries they got inspired, and उनको भी चाहिए था कि हम भी regionally या ethnic wise हम भी एक group form करके अपना एक state बनाए. So इसी तरह से बहुत सारे countries में ऐसा होने लगा. So some countries का यहाँ पे example is given. For example, East Timor was formed. फिर आपको याद रखना है कि किस country से वो बना है. So Indonesia से East Timor was formed. Eritrea से independent from Ethiopia. South Sudan independent from Sudan. So please do remember this, okay? So this trend of independence on the basis of nationalism is also seen in the following cases. इनमें भी वो सब हुआ है. Like for example, Catalonia wants independence from Spain. So Catalonia को Spain से independence चाहिए, okay? Then Kosovo में wants independence from Serbia. Its independence has been recognized by some countries of the Europe. Chechnya wants independence from Russia. So these are the countries which want similar type of independence. उन्हें भी इसी reason की वजह से ethnic nationalism की वजह से they want independence. So ये 3 countries they need independence, whereas Kosovo has been recognized as an independent country by some of the countries in Europe. Okay. So this is the map of the Europe. Please do read it and just check it out once, because they might even ask you questions related to the map. Then this was the countries of the former Soviet Union. This was the country, okay? This is the total Europe countries, and this is the countries. This is the map where they'll actually can ask you the countries, the former countries of Soviet Union. So please do check out and go through it once. Hope you like the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share and comment on the video, and please Do subscribe the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.